Good day, welcome everyone. My name is Bukama Sosiopela, and thank you guys very much for joining us on this lovely Thursday afternoon. I know there's a bit of weather out there for some of us in Pretoria. There's a bit of rain, a bit of shower here and there, but then once again, thank you guys for joining us for this application and aggregation delivery for the modern workspace. Trust that you guys will have a great time here with us today. And should you have any questions, please feel free to post them within the Q&A section or within the chats field. Do not be shy whatsoever. We will answer each and every question that you have for us. Introducing everyone who will be joining us today, I have Mr. Justin Foxcroft, who's our sales director here at Rtp, who will pose any sales questions that you might have for us. And we have Clovis Burgers, who's our managing director here at Rtp, who will also answer some of the technical questions that you might have. But the main man of the minute right now is Mr. Nico Zeek, who is the director of technology from Liquit, who is the partner that'll be taking the main part of the presentation today. Thank you guys once again for joining this webinar, and please feel free to look out for future webinars at www.rtp.com. And just an awareness again, we will have this recording of the webinar on our website by next week or tomorrow, earliest, and feel free to go check that out as well. All right, take it away, Nico.
So thank you for your introduction, and thank you for pronouncing my name just right. Well, perfect, good thing. So good afternoon, everybody. For me, welcome from the Netherlands, where it's also, well, not very nice weather at the moment. You can see it at my back. It's raining a little bit. We're all in the same boat over here. So I'll share my screen first, and then we'll start off. So here we go. You should be able to see my screen now. If not, just let me know. And as said, if there are any questions in the meantime, just pop a message. We're more than happy to answer them at any time. So for this afternoon, what I will do, I will start off with a small presentation, introducing myself, of course, introducing Liquit as a company, and then we'll go into a live demo, which basically shows you all the basics and the functionalities about Liquit. From time to time, it might get a little technical. If it's too technical or something is not very clear, just let me know. We'll hop back right on. And for the rest, sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. Well, let's start off. Let me introduce myself first. So my name is Nico Zeek, Director of Technology and Solutions for Liquit, and I am the one who is helping our partners and customers to understand what you can achieve with Liquit. Liquit is basically a very broad solution where we can achieve a lot of things, which I will dive in later. So probably you will see me sometimes on videos from Liquit, writing some blogs, helping our partners, doing webinars, just as today. And basically, the result should be that the customers, or at least the end users, get IT like water from the tap. That's our end goal. So the program for this afternoon, who we are, and then shift happens. So why are we doing what we have built? Then what brings Liquit into the game, and then going into a demo to show you everything live, how it works. So I like to do everything live. Of course, some things may fail, but everything you're going to see today is really live, and I don't hide anything. So if you have any questions, probably I might be able to build something live. That's the way I like to do things. So who's Liquit then? We'll just skip another slide. I'm going fast, 5 out of 19 already, and I'm not going to do all of them. So Liquit is a Dutch-based software vendor in Ridderkerk, just outside of Rotterdam. Not my most fun city. I like Amsterdam better, but anyways, that's on the personal side of things. And we were founded in 2015. And Liquit was founded in 2015 as the result of what was currently in the market. So it was from a consulting company. We're now completely separated by the way, but they were doing VDI implementations. And they had some comments about how heavy those solutions were in the VDI environments, how not flexible and how not cloud enabled and not Microsoft 365 enabled those solutions were. And after asking a couple of those companies delivering it, like Microsoft, like Novell, hearing no every time again, they've decided to start their own company, and it's gotten a little bit out of hand. So we now have a headquarter in America, the United States. And basically, we've got partners all over the world, including NetCB, of course, one of our most valued partners in the African continent. We like these guys a lot. They know their technology. So first of all, thank you for them for helping us and delivering us this session. So about Liquit, currently we're having over, well, this one says 400, over 500 customers live. And customers are anywhere between 100 and above 100K users. So you can say we're focusing on, well, the small, medium-sized companies until large enterprises. Liquit will basically fit in anywhere. And that's basically due to the fact for the company we are. We want to be as flexible as possible for any IT environment. So that's also where the company name comes from, Fluid IT. It should be so fluid that everything should be possible on Workspace level. And I know that's hard to grasp, what is everything, but we think you should be able to work with any solution you want, or let Liquit do the majority of things, or the in-between. There is no big bang migrations with Liquit into a new solution. And that's the outcome, because we're going to help our end users. And to do so, we value our, of course, our implementation partners a lot, but also our technology partners. So Liquit does have multiple technology partners, including Microsoft, VMware, Citrix, and a lot of other partners. And sometimes you see those partners like, okay, this is sort of less what they're doing too, like Ivanti. So Liquit was designed as a deployment solution, a workspace management solution in its base form. So we deliver any application with any configuration on any device. But we extend it to the cloud and bring your own devices. So we are more flexible in those solutions and even perhaps faster. But still, we have a partnership agreement with these guys. Why do we think so? Well, currently the customer has something running and you want to migrate into something new, it will take time. And there is no good or wrong in any circumstance. So we're all going to the cloud, or we're all going to Microsoft 365, for example. They require Azure AD. Why not use your local AD and Azure AD at the same time within Liquit Workspace? These are just examples you can build and create with Liquit. And you can see that we're also OEMing, white labeling a part of our solution to big major vendors like VMware and like Ivanti. You see how these solutions were called, and other OEM agreements, which I'm not allowed to talk about. So partnership is very, very important for Liquit. We are an extremely open platform where we have our roadmap publicly published. We have our documentation open and available for everybody who wants to see it. We have full APIs and full PowerShell modules. You can automate migration in and out of Liquit and everything in between. So enough about who we are. What are we trying to do? And it all starts for me with this picture. Shift happens. No matter what kind of transition you're in, you're always in a transition into something new. We've seen it since the 80s, since IT went into the company until today. And today we have a shift into the cloud, into a modern workspace, or whatever we want to call it. The thing we're doing in IT, it's like we build every 5 to 7 years, we bring up a project called the new workspace. And the new workspace is probably going to be the new desktop, new technology, new hardware, whatever. But it's a complete shift for the end user, a complete transition. And why do we wait for such a long time? Well, basically because we make things so extremely complex that for ourselves, IT guys, with all the good reasons we have, but also on the end user part, if we changed a little bit, like if we were running a Citrix environment in Storefront and went to run one application outside of Citrix, the complexity is enormous. So we let things just roll around. And if you want to move from Windows 7 to Windows 10, for instance, there's always that one app that doesn't run on Windows 10. So we wait. What will happen then? Basically, shit happens. You gather around a major project, migrating everything and do a big bang migration, which will stress your end users, which will stress your IT department and make the account manager of your IT consulting partner very happy because he has a major project solved. There's something at Liquit we want to change. We think that the revolution of a workspace should be an evolution. Smaller steps, incorporating new technologies while also connecting the old technologies. But for the end user, completely seamless. And that's our mission, that's our goal, that's what we do today. And what a new modern workspace is, it's for everybody different. So we support Microsoft 365, local devices, Office 365, Teams, etc. We support Citrix, VMware, Microsoft, Nutanix, Google, Amazon, etc. And the coolest thing of it all, you can combine it. If you start now working on Microsoft, you think later that year, well, it's not a good idea. Let's not only for Microsoft, you can simply go into Google, for instance. We support it. That's the way IT should be. So what Microsoft is saying? Well, basically worker productivity, remote work. drive cost savings and operation optimization in the businesses. Basically, very generic stuff. I think we can all agree on. Now, let's take a look what Gartner is saying. So Gartner is, of course, very important. And Liquid was named Cool Vendor in 2018 in the Unified Workspace segment. There is no Magic Quadrant for Unified Workspaces, but they've identified it as one of the 3 parties worldwide who are leader in those solutions. And what was Unified Workspace? Well, on the front end, you have probably something like bring your own device, choose your own device, or work from home these days, or anything in the middle. It should be flexible. I think that's pretty much crystal clear right now. But now we're focusing on anywhere operations, and anywhere operations is highlighted in black. Is basically we're running our backend services also from any cloud, any location, any service, even on premise. We need to combine it. Because now we're migrating, which is a transition for a user. We call it hybrid. We're migrating to the cloud and we're going to the, for instance, Microsoft cloud. But then a new manager comes, well, Amazon has this cool new feature. Let's go to Amazon. Another hybrid scenario. Liquid is able to tie it all in together. So anywhere operations, Liquid is fully enabled for it. So we can connect to on-premise solutions, your current IT solutions, while already starting with the new modern solutions. You're already future-proof when starting with Liquid. So what do we do then? We're changing the game. And I really love this old school game. I played it. I was really young at that time, but this is how fast things were changing. This is the ever-going transition we're in. So you see now that we need to change. And let's look at our IT crowd or at our user crowd. These two personas basically describe what we're doing and also the misassumptions we do on a day-to-day basis. So the assumptions we have is like the left-hand people on the typewriters are not tech native. These people still work today in today's offices, and that's a good thing. They are the core foundation of all our knowledge inside a company. And we assume that these guys are not tech native. They don't understand the slightest thing of technology. Perhaps some of them do. And then you see the right-hand guy. That guy is working, drinking his cup of coffee outside of the company. And we all assume that guy will understand IT and technology better. And I'm not that good looking as that guy is, but I am a guy like that. I have an iPhone, and as you can see, I wear an Apple Watch, and I enjoy myself with technology. The thing I don't like is all those questions. So when I want to launch something and start something, so this guy can probably run his WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever we use today just fine. And how does it come? Well, we go to the App Store, we download an app, it works. If there's no password, Apple is setting a password up for us, just requesting us some information, that's it, like 3 or 4 clicks. And if there's an update, no questions asked, it will be there, I don't care. And if you need access to my device, I approve it all. I don't really bother. So it's safe to say that both of these personas don't understand IT technology. So they get really frustrated in what we deliver them to them as an endpoint. And remember, we're in a current transition into something modern. So it hurts, and it hurts for every end user, and that's what is holding us back in technology. So let's face it, on the back end, there are also all good reasons for this. This is what a typical back-end infrastructure of an IT department looks like. 60% are still running on Windows Server 2008 for at least one or more servers. 52% are still running one machine at least with one application on Windows XP. 43% are still running fully on Windows 7. But on the other hand, 45% of the companies worldwide are currently running in the hybrid cloud. Can you imagine what it does to an end user? To get this thing working, as IT guys, we even can't understand it all. We know where we want to go. We don't know the exact reasons, but we have to. Because Microsoft is pushing this, because our hardware is written off, our licenses are old school. We need to do something. But there's always that one app. And what does the user see? Basically, this is what the user is seeing. Backend infrastructure negatively impacts the user experience. Is the system down again? Everybody here knows the phrase, Citrix doesn't work. But to be honest, how many times is it the Citrix environment that isn't running? It's the receiver that needs an update. It's the password I can't remember. It's the application wouldn't launch, or the setting inside that application isn't there. That's something at Liquid we want to solve. We are solving it actually. And the world is also moving to something completely different. We tried a lot of VDI. We tried a lot of local stuff. And the truth is somewhere in the middle. It's called hybrid. So Microsoft 365 with local endpoints, a virtualized environment, cloud workspaces, software as a service applications. This is the future. This is what everybody is going to, and this is what Liquit is enabling to do. And we do this by decoupling the apps from what's going on the back end. For Liquit, it's all about the apps. It's all about the apps that we deliver to a specific endpoint at any case in any given scenario. So we deliver applications, deliver settings, deliver drive mappings, database settings, VPN sessions, everything to an endpoint. But what does the user see? Well, the user sees only an icon. It can go to any portal or a start menu and will click on an icon. And I will take SAP as an example. I have a corporate-owned laptop. I'm inside my company walls. I'm a new employee. I open up my laptop. I will log in. I assume you already know your login credentials. And I click on my SAP icon. Liquit will detect, well, that you're inside the company walls. You click on SAP, but the application is not there. You're on a corporate-owned device. Let's install it. The application will be installed. We will start up the application right away for you and do the single sign-on into that application. And then I'm the same user. On day one, of course, can work from home due to COVID. I'm going to work from home. I open up my laptop and then Liquit detects, well, you're working from home. Corporate-owned device, let's fire up seamlessly without the user seeing it a VPN session. The user clicks on the exact same SAP icon. Liquit will see, well, corporate-owned device, there is an update. Let's install that application or that update for you right in place. So the user can be sure that it's always up to date, no questions asked. It's always compliant, no questions asked. The connection is always secure, no questions asked. And can log on with no questions asked because we do the single sign-on. And during the night, the user will need to write his hours in SAP. And I will grab my iPad for it. I will go to the same page, click on my exact same SAP icon, and then Liquit will detect, wait a minute, there's no iPad app. Let's broker a seamless Citrix session for you. So we'll install the Citrix receiver, configure the Citrix receiver for you, do the single sign-on into a session, broker the session, and on the back end, Liquit has created the Citrix golden image, deployed to the application inside your Citrix session, configured the workspace for the end user, all coming from one single management interface that the system administrator sees. So now the user can simply click on something, it will run. And the IT admin can decide what is going on the back end. And this will enable an insane amount of possibilities. So here on the right-hand side, you see some options Liquit has available. VMware, Windows Virtual Desktop, RDS, Citrix, on-premise, software as a service, cloud solutions. You choose. But for the users, it is completely seamless. So now you might be running on Citrix on-premise. And you want to go into the Windows Virtual Desktop environment, go a workspace into the cloud, or hybrid, run application locally. For the end user, nothing will change on the front end. So the user will go to a single location, regardless of the device. It will click on the application and it will get the application served, no matter what the back end is. So now as IT guys, we can make cool scenarios. So if you want to deploy, for instance, on your devices with Autopilot and Intune, new Windows 10 build, you can good to go. If there is one application not compatible, Liquit can detect, okay, you're on this base operating system version. I click on this application and think, well, this one is not compatible. So now for this specific operating system build, we redirect those specific users to Windows Virtual Desktop session running an older image version. The user can still run the application, but from the IT perspective, you still have improvement in the application landscape, in your operating system landscape. You can do innovations without the limitations. And because nothing changes there for the end user, you can finally speed up with those processes. And in the middle, there are numerous things Liquit can do, like automated application deployment, like automated application updates, fully integrated development, test acceptance, and production staging, which I will show you in a second. Basically, the end user will click and run, and the IT administrator can do everything what's required to get it with the end user. It is not only our vision. This is also the vision by Satya Nadella, of course, the principal of the president of Microsoft. He says the user experience itself is going to span all of your devices. Basically, the picture we've drawn here, and it's any application on any location, basically on the right-hand side, what we've drawn down. So you can do your migration, you can do your configuration with Liquit. And that said, let's go into a live demo. If there are any questions so far, please feel free, by the way, let me know. I am here to listen. If not, I will just really continue and hope you enjoy it at the moment. So what do we have here? Well, the journey starts and is resizing a little, so it takes a little while. Let's start off. Some things are in Dutch. I'm sorry for that. It's simply because it's called demo omgeving, which means demo environment. This is our interface. This is Liquit Workspace. And as an end user, my day will simply start here, and I'll remove an app to show you the process. I'll remove an application. But if you don't like our interface, we've disconnected the full interface from what's going on the back end. So just to show you, here's another interface. This is Microsoft Teams. This is actually a Microsoft Teams Online. This is my workspace. So I can integrate Liquit in my workspace. What you see here is basically everything I need as an end user. I can chat with my colleagues, I can call people, I can do webinars just like today. And I have all my enterprise apps running from the same page. And this is really in online. And yeah, it can also run in the offline mode, of course. What do I see here? What happened? I go to teams.microsoft.com. I will be single sign-on into Liquit. Liquit will detect your local device. What do I need to install, configure, manage, change, or update? Do I need to trigger a VPN session? Right away, I don't see it as an end user. And then as an end user, I simply see all my applications in here. Everything I need to run. And then I have here a catalog and I think, well, I just might need an application. I need my PuTTY. I'll click on it, it's requested. It can come with a workflow. And for an end user, it's on my workspace. I'll click on it and it will launch. This is actually an app V application, a local app V on my local system. We can serve any application coming from any interface. So this is like an external interface. This is a partnership we have with Cynical Pulse. This is like an Office 365 look and feel. They do an API call to our system. Basically, we combine anything. So you see here, this is my calendar for today. I'm probably in an application aggregation session. You see the weather forecast in the Netherlands. And if you want to know where I am, I hope you can see my mouse. I'm right there on the top of my mouse. They're really the center of the Netherlands. Public transport, address and station. So basically, I can create a place with all my enterprise apps wherever I want it to be. To give you just one more other example, this is our SharePoint demo site. And also Microsoft SharePoint, we have an out-of-the-box widget available, which is here, where I can launch any application. Install, deploy, configure any application. So disconnected from the front end, and yes, also, of course, the start menu. So here are my Liquid apps under Liquid. And I just published 2 in my start menu. Any interface, any application. Let's see what's going on. Oops, I closed down a little bit too much. So let me show you demo.liquid.com. Because in the matter of eat your own dog food, or better said, drink your own champagne, Liquid is also managed from the same interface. So you saw me logging on. When I click this, this is a full security refresh. We've redetected everything, how Liquid should operate. Everything. Checked if you need to deploy anything local. So it's extremely fast. And if you think I have a very big, heavy machine running, let me show you. 1 CPU core, 3 GB of RAM in a virtual machine. Nothing fancy at all. So here I see my applications. These applications, I know for a fact that there are software as a service applications, MSI applications, applications that are not even MSIs or unattended, MSIX, Appetite applications, AppV applications, and Windows Virtual Desktop applications. Should I care as an end user? No, of course not. So the story starts here. I see here my applications, and I'll give you first example about how Liquid can help you serve in the hybrid environment. I'll click on Microsoft Excel, and it launches extremely fast my Excel Online on Office 365. But this is what we call a smart icon. So I right-clicked it. I went to our management interface, and here you see the workflow we followed. And this workflow is the easiest one I can imagine. Excel 2016. Kick it off your local machine, but only if you're on a Windows platform. So what did we do? We first detected, do you have Excel installed? And no, I don't have Excel installed on my local device. I'm on Windows platform. Okay, Didn't work. Next one, launch Excel from an Apple device, but only if your platform is iOS, so the native Apple app. Then we would go, for instance, go to the old school version. You're not migrated yet. So if you're a user running on a modern machine and hopping off to a thin client, logging into a Citrix environment, which is not migrated yet, the same icon, different result. And for me, at final stages, it went to the online variant. And I set this scenario just to show you how fast things were going. I'll do it again, click on it, and it's within a blink of an instant, blink of an eye. So let's create one cooler scenario. I've showed you that putty. I will click on it. It launches the application on my local device. This one contains also some installation tasks. So here you can see we're varying already the application icon. For the user is an icon. And what we do, first we download the app-v variant to package 10.0 on your local device. No filters, we always do that. And we're going to enable app-v, which is basically a little script. Then we're going to add the app-v client, no questions asked for the end user. Then we're going to publish the application in your start menu for the end user, no questions asked. Then we're going to try to start the native putty, but only if the application is physically installed. Otherwise, we'll use the virtual one. So now here we've combined the installation and launch tasks, but for use is one icon. And I can set scenarios like, okay, I have here my people are allowed to do it, but I can say for my HP laptops, this is a context. I can say, okay, on device start, I will install this application. As soon as the device starts, it will do the installation. Not launch it, just install it. And I can create scenarios to whatever I want it to be. I hope it's still clear. So now I have a hybrid environment. I want to go to Microsoft 365, but I'm not there yet. I'll show you an example. I have my Paint in here, which is extremely simple. I'll click on it, and it will launch a local Microsoft Paint. It launches on my local system. You see, it's locally run. Perfect. Okay, now I'll change a little parameter just to show you how fast things are going. I removed it, go back to my workspace and click on it. And now the exact same icon will revert me to Windows Virtual Desktop. So this can be the scenario when I update my Windows 10 build with incompatible applications, we can revert you to another solution. And now you see here below, it's a remote session. But the result for me as an end user is I can simply click and run. And on the back end, Liquit has created that Windows Virtual Desktop environment. We do the workspace management, the application publishing. And I see there is a Q&A question, so let me check it first. How can Liquit assist in preventing or minimizing the spread of ransomware or malware? Well, basically, we can help you to update your antivirus, your malware, schedule scannings, run trusted hash files only, lock down systems that user can only install applications coming from the Liquit catalog. There are numerous options. So I really hope this one helps a little. If you have any further questions, please just let me know. I can do another deep dive about that, but I will keep it a little bit generic. I keep those questions coming, by the way. I like them. So what happens for this Windows Virtual Desktop environment? Well, it starts all here. This is the management plane. And you can see we can do a lot. If you have a current environment, you want to go to the modern workspace, the plan starts here. Let's connect to your current IT infrastructure, which basically can be anything. Citrix, print server, system center, RDS, Windows Virtual Desktop, VMware, Nutanix, app-v. Currently, we're connected to the print server and Windows Virtual Desktop. And every connector does the same thing. So what do? We connect to it with some settings, with a single sign-on template for this environment. And here you can see, this says use the current identity source, current username. You can also use alternative credential set. So you can be connected to multiple ADs and Azure ADs at the same time, or any LDAP system. Also eDirectory, Jump Cloud, or whatever you want to use. The idea is that we can map this specific credential template to a specific application. And we do an install dependency. Install dependencies, in this case, for every application the user wants to run, we first install and configure a remote desktop client. For Citrix, we will install the Citrix receiver and configure it. It's always up to date, no questions asked. I don't have to think about it anymore. Then I can browse live our Windows Virtual Desktop environment. What is published? And here we go. I can select all the applications and create a package out of it. And say create package. And here you can see our integrated DTAP staging system, which I will show you in a second. And this is how the world starts to a modern workspace. Within half a day, you are connected to your current IT infrastructure, your modern workspace is up and running. And then we have these transition scenarios. This is the paint I've just showed you. And it did the following: start paint on my local device, but only if this file exists. I can create a scenario only. We use any filters. I can combine them at any given time. So only if device FQDN contains liquid.com, for instance, so your corporate owned device, confirm. And if I context on my internal location, I can combine these filters to get the exact result at the right moment that I want it to be. Next, we try to launch the Rtp session, but only if you're an HP laptop. So you're not migrated yet, you're going to the on-premise connection. It might be that it fails, that the servers are full or down, or you're already migrated. Then we launched the Windows Virtual Desktop session live. Result is for me as an end user, click and run. But this is a migration scenario which is completely transparent for the end user. And if you require something, I can simply install and configure anything. I want to attach a virtual disk with profiles. I want to connect a printer, update something specific, or even inside an ODBC or an INI file, search for a section, update, for instance, a specific database to DB1 to customer A DB server. So we can inline change files to get the right result in the right moment at the right time. And when I think these changes are done, I can stage a snapshot into the next stage, going from development into test. It will create a snapshot, and I think if I made a little mistake, I can simply revert it back. So there's a new snapshot. And if I think I don't like it, I can pull it back or completely destroy it. So at any given time, 4 different versions of an application can be inside Liquid Workspace. And this is useful because we also do a lot of things. There's another Q&A. Oh no, this is still the one, so answer live. So it's answered. So because we also do deployments like imaging. And the hardest thing of creating a hybrid environment is that you keep to maintain multiple images, multiple devices. So typically you see something, a golden image, a test image, thin client image, VMware image, Windows Virtual Desktop. At Liquid, we say, let's create one image. So if on the front end base, it doesn't matter where the application will launch because the user will simply see an interface. And if we can make applications so generic that it can run on any backend platform and the configuration will become later, and we can create one image. So now I can create a scenario where I run Microsoft 365 for the majority of my users on my local devices or Citrix or whatever. And for my power users who require a virtual workspace, I have and for Liquid, on licensing level, it doesn't matter if you have 1 system running or 5 systems running. For the user, it's just one thing. How does it work? I've assigned these applications to Citrix server who get all my production stages. So in the snapshot production, Citrix test environment will get all my test applications. HP laptop and Windows Virtual Desktop also get all the production applications. And now, well, how does it look if I change something? So I'm going to my Google Chrome. I've got 3 of them, so I don't know which one I want to click. Doesn't really matter. Right click, manage. And here you see something particular. So there's no test snapshot. As soon as I stage this, confirm, what will happen then? My Citrix test environment will try to install the generic application. And the Citrix specific tasks. Citrix test server, Citrix test environment. So my HP laptops, Windows Virtual Desktop environment will do nothing until it reaches the production level. Then the Citrix production environment will install the generic application and this registry file, which offloads a specific security setting. And Windows Virtual Desktop, I can create another block which will only work for Windows Virtual Desktop. So let me do one, install, WVD. Oops, this is not what I wanted to do. This is something I copied while I was working on. WVD. I say down, this one will only work on the context. And let's create one. Windows Virtual Desktop pool 1. We need to match. And there I can set a specific registry key. Like this, dummy one, doesn't matter. So this can be another one, and from the Citrix environment. When I need an update on this application, usually you have to do first all your testing. And then I create a package like an AppV or an MSI, and I need to completely change this application for all my platforms. That's why we want to stick to one platform. But this one, I can simply say, well, create an install MSP, Microsoft patch. I'll give a dummy environment, which will install a patch. And these Microsoft patches are valid on all platforms. And it comes with variables, if I like them to. And then these things will still work. And now I can state this to my production environment or acceptance. And as soon as I'll state this one, confirm. As soon as I do this, my image is already changed. No more image management. And for the end user, it's still that one single same application. Liquit handles it all in the middle of it. And to do so, we have a ton of other features available, but our end result should be, we deliver a workspace to the end user, where the user doesn't have to think, and the IT administrator can create everything, every scenario, and also report on top of that scenario. And every single button I showed here today is accessible via API or via our PowerShell module. So you can automate seriously everything within Liquid. And here you can see the compliancy of my environment. And this is another way of doing stuff the Liquid way. This is coming from Microsoft Power BI, which is accessible for you as a company. You can export it to your whatever system you have running and make automated decisions based on this. It's all enterprise ready. As you can see, we can do so much more. But the end result that I want to get with Liquid is basically any app. So this is the MSIX app. I can launch an MSIX on my local device. Any application, regardless of the application, any configuration on any front end and using any backend, creating a seamless transition from old to new without any impact. So this is the story for me today. Are there currently any questions? Please feel free to let me know. Please challenge me. Is everybody sleeping?
I think there was another question that I saw here. How does Liquid help to improve security for end users?
Yeah, basically,
For remote users specifically.
Yeah, well, what we can do, for instance, for remote users, Liquid can trigger a VPN session based on if you're external. Let's start off there. We can say, well, if you're external, let's launch something. Doesn't matter, a VPN session. If you are logging off from your environment, you bring your own device, or we remove all the applications again. We can do a detection. Is your antivirus up to date? Is your system and your firewall up and running? If not, we're not going to deploy anything local. We're going to give you a Citrix session. And if it doesn't meet even that standards, we're disallowing you to run any application or reconfigure it just in time. So we can help to improve the security level without asking the end user to change something. I hope this helps.
Yeah. I saw that you have that integration with VMware, or VMware has got an OEM agreement. How does it slot in with the VMware VDI solution?
Yeah, so what we can do on VMware VDI, we can publish, of course, the desktops. We can do the single sign-on into a session. But Liquit will also create the VMware images, install the applications inside VMware, and configure your workspace around it, and basically anything. So you can also go to published apps, published desktops. Liquit supports it all and will manage and configure it all. And I saw another Q&A question popping up, I think. Am I correct? Where's my Q&A?
Is there a question in there? I'm trying to see.
Yeah, it's popping away. There's a question. Q&A. Oh, there's a long questions. In network visibility solution. Okay, there's a long question. I hope I can show it on the screen. No, I can't. There's not a real question, I think. Is this a question or? Ah, okay, okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
Thank you, thank you. So we are not a real security solution. We can make measures and work with other solutions, but really we are here just to make the life easier for the end user with everything that you need. So get the idea. If I want to allow or disallow applications, I can create a context and I can say, well, I will create a script. And the script will tell me when I'm a secure device. Okay. When am I a secure device? I can create a script that will talk to an external API, external system, gather input from a variety of systems of input, which will allow you to be a secure device. And then we publish applications or the conjuncting task within an application that can be run, yes or no. So we can make automated decisions based on external input or create input ourselves. The choice is up to you. Are there any other cool questions? Or is there anybody who wants to get a demo environment just to play around with it? Now's the time to speak up.
Oh. So if any one of you actually require a demo environment, it is easy for us to quickly help you set it up. And then you don't even need to have something set up on premise. So it's very easy to quickly get something off the ground.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nico, I believe there was also a question asked around, does Liquit assist in any way in the prevention of malware and ransomware?
Yeah, I thought I answered that, but yes, we can do detections.
Oh, sorry, if it was brought up already, my apologies.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll answer it again. I like it to do. So we can detect whether or not something is compliant. So you can report on it and push out updates instantly if there is a true issue on a system. So there's not true ransomware protection because that's basically ransomware gets in if somebody clicks on something wrong. We can't take away the human error well, basically, we can disallow that end user run stuff not secured by Liquit. So we know the hash files, we know what we can allow, what we can disallow.
Yeah. Also, in your catalog, once a new version of an application has been released, how long does it take before it's available in your catalog?
It is an extremely good question, even more because I even forgot to show you our application store because I totally forgot. So that's a good thing. So we have a catalog in here. This is for the end user. But we also have a connector. Thanks for giving me the heads up, by the way, to our setup store. And our setup store is a repository of 3,500 applications, which will run out of the box. So I don't need to do my recurring packaging work. So to think about ransomware protection or updating or compliancy, I can do a live Google Chrome package, updated March 12th, which basically we monitor these applications 24/7. And most usually within 24 hours after the release of an update or an application, it will be in the Liquit setup store. So that answers your question. I can select this application and publish it to my test users. I'll update the current application if it's there. And here you can see the security scan of this application. If there is something wrong, you see a big red bar. We do antivirus check, malware hash, a malware check. We check the hash code and we check for known CV numbers. If something's wrong, you see a big red bar. Next, and here you see a configuration template. I can select which features I want from this application and the home page without doing any packaging work. We transform this application automatically. And when I click on save, next, my package is done. This application is now fully enterprise ready and fully customized without any issues. So usually this will take at least for 4 hours packaging work per platform you want to deploy it on. When this is done, you will see the installation and the configuration tasks. And when there is an update, Liquit can be set to automatically download that update again, using the same template again to the test stage where users can test the application and allow it to go into production yourself. So you can fully automate a good portion of your application lifecycle management. And thanks for the heads up, because I totally forgot about this. As said, we've got so many features, so I hope you also like this part. There are some more questions dropping in. Does it support all Linux distros with these applications? Well, all is hard to say because Linux goes pretty far, but yeah, we support a good bunch of operating systems, yes. So if you have a specific question about specific versions, please contact NetCB and we're more than happy to talk to you about it. I can't say upfront that we support all versions. So I hope I answered this also correctly. Any other questions? Any thoughts on the solution? Anything missing?
I believe you also can integrate with other directories such as Octa,
yeah,
etc.
Yeah, so we have, for instance, to show you off, we have this Octa integration we can automatically connect to. We can connect to basically any LDAP system. That makes it complex. So we are a SAML provider, OAuth 2.0 provider for single sign-on. We can interconnect to. And in this system, we're currently also connected to the Azure AD. And we can also connect at the same time to, as shown here, to local AD. And I can create another one which can connect to the directory, for instance, for Novell. I create one. So I can simply say eDirectory. And if the LDAP system that you need to support isn't in our system, it's just, for instance, a minor change because only front-end work, because we support any LDAP attribute available worldwide, and we can simply translate into Liquit known solutions. And if there is a language missing, it's also free of charge that we create a new language pack. It's by Liquit by design, and we can easily translate. So I hope this also answers that question. Any other questions?
Okay. Doesn't seem if there's any more questions.
I hope everybody liked it. I do.
Well, I can tell everyone that NetCB is already running a implementation of Liquit. If any of our clients, if you're interested in seeing a demo or even running it as a demo in your own environment, we will be in contact with you after this presentation today. And it is really very quick to set up for an initial demonstration environment. In fact, I think when we deployed it for our own environment, it took less than half a day to get it up and running and integrated with our existing authentication mechanisms. That's how easy it was to actually get it up and running.
Yeah. But you guys were also really intelligent to do so. So compliments for that, by the way. Everybody, it was in this session, and this is not. I talked to a lot of system integrators. You are looking at the right partner to help you with modern technology. I can assure you that. So if there are no further questions, I would like to suggest, is this the same as ZenWorks? There's a question. Well, basically, it's ZenWorks on steroids. Now, so the foundation was, of course, that there are some ideas coming from ZenWorks, because I truly believe it's an incredible, cool solution, but they were holding back a little bit on development and missed out on the cloud game, missed out on the multi-tenancy game and on the multiple location game. So I think the idea ZenWorks is awesome. So if you're known to bundles, we can bring you those ZenWorks bundles on steroids. And also, if you like, perhaps automate a good portion of the migration into Liquid.